He is going to score underneath the sticks. What a statement.
Has it come off his leg? It seems like it has. What a try to do it here, though. Captain taking it in his own hands.
It's a try for the captain.
Try time by October, in for the try.
It's Monument. The second half carried nicely. Try time.
Down the blind side for Otinikwa.
Skitterende voete deur hierdie manne van Grey College as hulle opbeweeg na die volgende.
And out of nowhere, try scored by Durbanville.
Oh, he's going to go all the way, will he? In the left-hand corner.
What a run by the feather. Bobby Alexander. That is phenomenal, sir. Spots a gap. Quino on the outside centre.
Just seen an epic encounter now between Garsfontein and Paul Gymnasium. Paul Gymnasium there, 43-0 victors. We're about to kick off the 12 o'clock fixture here. It still is the second teams that are playing from throughout the morning. We've got Monument from up the road, and they're up against Stellenberg, the men from Belleville in Cape Town. We're about to kick this one off here. In commentary with me is Baphiwe Mfundisi. Baphiwe, looking at those teams, please.
Thanks there, Pralax. Looking at both teams there, that Stellenberg side, obviously players to look out for. Number 13, CJ Groenewald. Looking at their number 9, Aiden Miller, who's in grade 11, by the way, and part of the Western Province elite squad. The boys there from Stellenberg, specifically down in Belleville. Looking at the Monument side from Kreersdorp. At the fullback there, I see we've got Liam Dick. But the captain for today's game is number 8, Wolfhard. As the boys run on there, Lucky.
Here we see the men running on here. Firstly, you'll see Stellenberg. They're playing in navy blue, and that light green strip that you see there, making their way on to the park, followed by Monument. They in their similar zebra strip. You might confuse them for Jeppe High School for boys if you weren't too careful, but certainly no, that's not them. That's the second team side from Monument about to kick off this one. Man in charge in the middle, Mr. Corneille Rousseau.
Yeah, that zebra stripe, well known in Kreersdorp as the Kwachas. That's the Monument second side.
Players just about to get ready here, but Baphiwe, I was here at the crack of dawn this morning. It was wet underfoot, it was a little bit nippy, so you can imagine how the first game went. Plenty of scrummaging to do, but as we've seen the morning progress, some running rugby. The guys are eager to really get stuck in there. Good handling, better handling of the ball that we've seen there. So the rugby just keeps getting better and better throughout the day.
Yeah, definitely. I was having a chat with Juan Lindeker, who's actually the coach of this Mona side, and he was saying that, I mean, these Kreersdorp side are known for being physical and the like, so it's going to be a good contest. I think hard really up front. We'll see Monas trying to starve the opposition of the ball at most.
Matthew Messina looks like the man that's about to kick us off. Stellenberg will be playing from left to right on your screen, and receiving will be Monument. In their Kwacha strip, they'll be playing from the right-hand side on to the left. 30 minutes a half, folks. 60 minutes in total here. The first teams, they take it up a slight notch up. They're at 35 minutes apiece, but these games here are at half an hour apiece here. Little bit of a wait here, not too certain what we're waiting for. Just got to make sure that everything's good to go and ready to go on track here. Do remember, folks, to join us on SuperSport Schools. This is where we are streaming live on all digital platforms, and we'll be here throughout the week. Remember this festival here, North-South Rugby Festival, hosted by Afrikaanse Seuns Hoërskool. We're here today, we're here tomorrow. And then, of course, at the end of the week, Friday and Saturday as well. Feel free to interact with us. Feel free to get in touch on all sorts of social media platforms. Remember, SSR Rugby is where you'll get a hold of us. Use that hashtag I'm sure lots of you watching some loved ones and family members from back home as you enjoy your Freedom Day.
Definitely a good day for rugby here in the capital. Sunny day out here at Afi specifically. It makes me think back to some of the past players that have been through Monas and the Stellenberg side. I mean, you look at players of the likes of Angelo Davids from Stellenberg down in Belleville, who's now playing for the Blitzbokke, and then the Zebras Stripes, the Kwagga side from Kreersdorp. You've got huge players like the likes of Willem Alberts that have come through there. And an interesting story, Lucky, about Willem is that the man actually played thirds for most of his life. He changed his life around in about matric, and that's where the legend of Big Vic was actually founded at Monument School.
So you mean there's still hope? I played for the Mighty Thirds in high school as well, so you mean I mustn't just hang up my bootstraps just yet. There might be hope.
No, definitely there's hope, and I mean thanks to the sponsors and Super Sport Schools, Barloworld, Menlyn for making this all possible. It shows that there definitely is hope. I mean, when last did you see a second team game on a TV, on the telly?
No, it certainly has been quite a long time, and you know, we're having a conversation a little bit earlier on behind there with Fajma Better as well, saying a lot of these players, last time they saw competitive rugby was 2019, and if you look at, you know, just the situation, the broad situation about particularly senior players looking on to move into varsity, looking on to move into franchise rugby, and how difficult it is from a recruitment point of view, from a scholarship point of view, when you haven't seen these players play in 2 years. So really a lot of hunger out there. You look at a lot of the second teams. I mean, if you think about 2 years back, some of these second team players would have been in grade 9. So
Exactly.
that's, you know, that's just the importance of it, and I'm glad that the organizers at this festival have realized the importance of allowing the second team players to have a go here as well.
No, most definitely. I mean, you look at all the availabilities of after school. If you don't go into provincial, if you don't go to national, there's always the likes of your varsity cup, your varsity shield. So this is definitely a good advert, not only for the individual players, but for the schools that are participating in these competitions of the like, Lucky.
Plenty of rugby here to go here, folks. So this is one of the last games of the second teams, and then we move on to the first team sides. Plenty to look out for. Jurgen Jansen coming up against Welkom Gymnasium. Then we're looking at Garsfontein. They'll be playing against Paul Gym. Monument vs Stellenberg. And then we end off the day, 7 o'clock kickoff. It is the host, Affies, and they will be playing against Oakdale. So plenty of rugby still to go. Having a look at those results from throughout the morning.
Yeah, at 8:15 this morning, we saw Harty S. Middelburg second team going down 23-22 against Danefeld. That was the first game of the morning. 9:30, we saw the second side from Boksburg, Jurgen Jansen, beating the boys from Welkom Gymnasium 51-17. 10:45, Garsfontein seconds played against Paul Gym, and that's the game that we've just seen. And looking at the scores, you'd tell, or you'd think that these boys have been playing rugby all along, Lucky. I mean, we've had such a long break with the pandemic. I believe that both the teams that we're about to see, the Stellenberg side hasn't played an official game yet this year, and this Mona side has only played one, I believe. So looking forward to some real good rugby, and I'm sure that the boys themselves will be looking forward to running into each other.
No, there certainly have been some bigots on the outside. I've just had a whisper in my ear, but Piwe, the delay seems to be regarding some Boxmart paperwork for one of the two teams. It seems that Monas's paperwork just needs a little bit of approval before we can get going. So as we know, safety first, of course, and making sure that all the players are legitimately able to participate. So that was the delay in the kickoff, but it does seem that all the boxes have been ticked, all the I's have been dotted, and we're just about to finally get going here. Stellenberg in the navy blue strip, kicking off to Monument seconds. Players there. It's going to be a bit of a struggle for us, but pure that Monument side, no numbers on the back, so we'll be able to do a bit of guesswork as we see a nice, good bustling run from some of the forwards there. We've seen a lot of this throughout the morning, but pure good bustling runs from the players here, just to suck in that defense there before they let it loud a bit. Being on the high felt, we've also seen the ball get a lot of air, as you see now. Great space looked in behind there by the
Ball collected at the back there by Kian Bosse from the Stellenberg side.
Clean up duties here for Monument. All on side here. Referee happy for them to play on. Looking to clear their lines are Monument. Ball stays in play quite nicely. Players have not been shy to give the ball some air. Again, not in play again there. So the kickers from both sides just needing to find their feet, literally, for them just to get settled in there. But we've seen how it takes a couple of minutes for the guys just to get into a steady stream of go forward rugby here, as we see them come across the halfway. They're good carry there and a good stop there by the winger from Stellenberg. It's a little bit untidy at the moment. Players a little bit eager there, as we see the first penalty coming in there. Just a bit too eager to get involved at ruck time.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've seen 2 or 3 rucks from each side, the ball not going out when the players have tried to kick out. And it's just the technique for me. If you look at every player, the fullback from both sides trying to kick the ball out, however, looking up before the ball has even left the hands, for me, is the one difference between the two.
Again, Monument opting to look for space here. Doesn't go the intended route, and a counter-attack opportunity here in the form of Keenan Bosse. He's been very busy thus far, and his intent has been quite clear. As soon as he gets on the ball, he's clearly been given license to run it up there, as we see a knock-on that might result in our first scrum if Monument are not able to take full advantage of the error from Stellenberg.
Yeah, after 3 failed kicks, I think Mr. Keen Bosse decided, I'm here to play, gentlemen. Let's take it up, let's run it up, and then that resulting, unfortunately, after that first phase, the knock-on, and we have our first scrum of the day.
First scrum, always an interesting one there. The forwards are always looking to get involved there. We've seen a lot of penalties earlier this morning for infringements at scrum time, and I think that's just a lack of game practice because the technical side of things, not so easy for some people, particularly at scrum time.
Definitely, and it's going to be an interesting contest here, because if you look at the hooker there from that Monash side, Tristan Da Costa, a man who's only in grade 10 at this point, so a youngster up there. Let's see how he goes up against the Stellenberg scrum.
Nice solid scrum to start off with Monument. They just need to be careful of their discipline. Do Stellenberg. The ball does, however, now come out there. Full of running, this Monument side is there, but equally matched by Stellenberg's good defensive line.
Yeah, you can see that the boys have been laid off for a while. The pass is not going to hand. If that one had stuck, I think we would have seen another phase and possibly a run down that left-hand side, but not going to hand.
First throw-in opportunity here for Jarno Smith. Short line out, the option here. Well intercepted by Monument, even though momentarily, which will result in the knock-on. So scrum down opportunity again for Monument. That was a good scrum, wasn't it, the first one? Nice, sturdy and stable, and a good hit.
Definitely a good hit there from that Monash side. As you saw, the ball came nicely, cleanly out the back. Unfortunately, the back line not able to do the work with such good ball. Standing
very close to that scrum is the fly half there, Nico Kutsia. Not having to do much as the referee awards the first scrum penalty of the day in terms of this encounter here. Just short on the bind there from Stellenberg, so unable then to obviously take the hit.
Definitely, I mean, from that first scrum to the fourth, you've seen Monument definitely dominate that scrum time. So the boys from Stellenbosch really feeling the pressure right now.
And I think it's fair to say psychologically as well, from an early start, if you can get that ascendancy at scrum time, it really does put your defenders under pressure here. As it's a great hoist by Stellenberg, immediately going into a maul setup there. He did really well, did the flanker there. Kobus Vester, he's one that is jumping up onto the line there. And a decent enough exit there by Stellenberg. That'll bring play just outside the 10-meter mark.
Yeah, that is a much better kick there by Keen Bossa, the fullback, getting this one out on the full and getting themselves out of a little bit of trouble. However, they're still just on the 10-meter mark in their own half. Let's see how they deal with this line out. They won the first one. Let's see how they do on their own one.
Another short line out here. Not very convincing in terms of those jumps, but numbers is the call from the referee. They really do need to sort that out. We've seen it the whole morning, players drifting in and out there, so they just need to be careful of the numbers. It is a free kick in favor of Stellenberg, and they've opted to scrum down.
Surprisingly, having not won the first 3 scrums of the day, calling that scrum, maybe they've seen something we haven't seen yet. Lucky. Let's see how this one goes.
Man in charge of the ball there is Aiden Miller, feeding that ball into the scrum. We've seen a handful of penalties coming out of the scrums thus far from both sides. Ball very quickly to come out, and that halfback from Monument very quickly onto him there. Good work to come to ground there by Thys. Halfback is just going to dink that ball over the top there. One chaser from Stellenberg. The sweeper there from Monument. Unfortunately, that ball there not going as far as I'm sure he would have liked and intended. However, I guess safety first in these situations.
Definitely well-timed kick. I think he was one step from being outside his own 22, clearing the ball there. The fullback from Monas, the Kwagga side. Another line out here. It's 1-all. Stellenberg to put in.
Over the top and a knock on there by Monument. Happy for them to come back and take another scrum here. Did really well, did Aiden Miller. They've had a bit of pressure in the scrums, but that ball was quickly in and quickly out again. But credit to his opposite number as well, SENEKAL. He was very quickly onto pressure there as soon as that ball exited the scrum.
Yeah, definitely. I think he got caught on the first scrum in their own half, did much better in the second phase. However, the ball again not going to hand. Hopefully we'll see these boys pick up the skill in the next few days, but we do understand it has been a while for the boys to get out on the park. The nerves must also be high. It's probably their first proper game and on TV, so let's see if these boys can pick it up from here on.
And I think, this is going to sound strange, but also first time playing in an empty stadium, I guess, for a lot of these players. We're used to parents, we're used to braais going on, we're used to war cries in the stands. So courtesy of the pandemic, that's obviously not allowed anymore. So it is an empty stadium. We're all of us in the bio bubble here. But credit to everyone that's put this tournament together, as we see a little chip and chase there by Stellenberg. Are they able to collect Monument? Yes, they are. They dot that ball over. Just need to see if the ball was carried over. Yes, says the referee. So they will come back onto the 5-meter there for a scrum.
Great work there by the winger, number 11, Chad van Wyk from Stellenberg. Got the ball short side of the field, puts it on the toe. Unfortunately, doesn't make it on time. Looks like a 22 dropout.
Referee's had a bit of a change of mindset from consulting with his assistant there, so it will be a 22-meter, and back in action again is Van Wyk almost immediately there. Ball comes down to the back line here. Let's see what the players are able to do. Another little dink over the top. They seem to love this quite often, and a great collecting there by Mikhail Thys. Onto the side there, overeager once again, Monument, just to get stuck into that ruck there. Seem to be slightly on the ascendancy here, Stellenberg. Every time they get the ball, something's happening. They're getting over those gain lines and succeeding in those small margins.
Definitely, I mean 10 minutes into this game and you can definitely see that the Kwaggas are your more physical side and the Stellenberg side really wanting to throw the ball around, and as soon as the ball has been given air you can see the boys come alive. So it's really a game, one physical, one team that will love to run. What will make the difference though, Lucky, you think?
We see now the first small setup in this game there. Good set from them so far, unable to sack it where Monument. It really is rumbling and rolling now, and as we see the player come straight through the middle there, and try time for Stellenberg, that flanker there, La Chance, that man there, as big as he is, no one seemed to see him come through there.
Yeah, I was a bit worried at first with the maul because all the Stellenbosch body positions weren't low enough. Unfortunately then for the Mona side, they did not see Kokontenana coming through and dotting down for the first try of the game.
We spoke about the momentum. It was certainly in Stellenberg's favor, and I guess good thing that they're able to come away with some points there. You don't want to spend so much time in the opposition's half, and certainly in their 22 and walk away with nothing. So I'm sure they will be feeling very happy about coming away with some points from their visits into the opposition 22 thus far.
It'll definitely settle down the nerves for some of the boys.
First attempted goals here for Matthew Messina. Look to add the extra 2 points here. Good connection with the ball, and the assistant referees are obliged. Their flags are raised. 7-0 the score to Stellenberg, as we see Matthew Messina add those extra 2 points here. So certainly on the ascendancy so far. Stellenberg, nice collect there by the lock forward. Slight knock, and we're back to scrums again, in admittedly a very good attacking position for Monument.
Definitely the Kwagga side deciding that they're not going to wait for Stellenberg to get ready. They want to get going. They've just been put behind by 7 points. Boys, let's get up there, forcing the quick kick, knock on, scrum, Kwaggas.
Some space on the blind side here, so we could have an 8-9 pickup onto the blind side. Otherwise sitting very nice and deep are the back line towards our left hand side here. Let's see now. Defoe onto that ball there to his center partner, who keeps his run going. A little bit messy there. Let's see who's on a cleanup duty, who comes away with it. It does look like the try scorer there, Tino Toshe. It's somehow rustled back by the players from Monument. Good defense so far from Stellenberg. They just need to be careful not to be isolated. Monument, lots of single running here. Those supporters need to make sure that they're in there.
The first part really close, keeping it tight, using that physicality, what they'd be known for.
Comes now nice and wide. Lovely little cutback, equally met there by the Stellenberg defense. Keenan's been really busy so far this game. Runs it nice and hard and straight, does the forward from Monument. Again, good darting run around the outside there. Is he over the line? Doesn't look like it's there. No, referee was happy that that ball was not grounded. He'll come back, however, for a penalty in favor of Monument.
Great phase play there by the Kwagga side, using that momentum to their advantage. And as we see, their first try.
Quickly taken there by the halfback from Monument. That ball quickly tapped. Away we go, and nice big running there from the forwards. So immediate response back by the Kwaggas.
Great fight back as we see Zander Skuman, the number 6 from the Kwacha side, getting over the whitewash. It has been 3 or 4 phases of great playing with the pods on the sides of the ruck. Stellenberg not defending those trenches hard, looking out wide, and the boys from Monument decided that let's give our forward players a go, and 5 points are on the board.
You did have make mention to it a little bit earlier, but Pio, in terms of the physicality that's been exuded by the Monument side already, and that's another classic example there where they had a penalty on offer and caught unawares where Stellenberg, quick ball, nice direct hard running, resulting in the 5 points there. Unfortunately, unable to add the extra 2.
Real great passage of play, and this all came from the quick kick off into the Stellenberg half, knock on, penalty thereafter, quick play, pods, 3 phases, try time.
Remember, folks, you're able to join us on all streaming platforms here, Super Sport Schools, as we see that ball not going the required 10 meters there. Just not appreciating his laws that that flanker there from a Monument. Ball hadn't traveled the 10 meters, but because from a defending point of view, he played the ball by himself there, then brought everybody else onside, then were able to play the ball, which resulted in a scrum for that knock-on.
Yeah, I actually looked at the Kwacha side and nobody was committing to the ball, so I thought, I mean, Stellenberg is in for the kill there. Unfortunately, the ball just not doing the miles that it should have. Otherwise, another scrum here.
Kind of slid off the side of Messina's boot there, as we saw that in live action here. It was almost rolling backwards, that ball, but we're back here at scrum time, and a huge scrum from Monument, fortunately able to get that ball out. Messina cuts the ball back on the outside here for Tace. Quick ball, which is lovely here for the halfback. There's a try scorer bustling his way up. Just needs to work on that body position. He sits very, very high, so they want to hold him up there, La Chance, every time he gets to the ball.
Definitely a big boy, looking to muscle over. Unfortunately, the Monas boys got their number on him, going nice and low, defeating him in the contact.
Marais with a good run into that ruck there. Good continuation here from Stellenberg. Here comes now the winger there. Can he make it for the corner? Cuts back onto the inside. Can he dot that ball down? No, he decides to place it back. There's a number 8 there.
Oh.
Try time, says the referee. But we were almost falling out of his chair here. I think he had thought it was a knock-on. He fell awkwardly. Let's hope he's okay, the number 8 there. It does look like Stian Grobler is the try scorer there.
Definitely almost falling off my chair there, Lucky. Reminding me of a pot of popcorn, the way that ball just popped from the ground. I wasn't really sure whether he actually grounded it, but I see the referee going upstairs to have another look. Doesn't look like he quite got it down, but the referee giving another 5 points. Man.
Certainly did look awkward there, but that show and go, probably in slow motion, that show and go there, but backing himself was Grobler to add a couple of those extra points there. So a bit of a bad camera angle that we had in terms of that one there, but Mr. Rousseau, the man in charge, happy to award that one at 5 points, and an opportunity here from Messina to add the extra 2.
Correct.
Just sweeping across the face of the post there. The score will remain 12 points of 5 in favor of Stellenberg. Geez, the medical personnel have really been busy this morning. Like you said a bit earlier, but P, first time a lot of these players out there, so that body is not used to that contact anymore. So we're very, very fortunate to have the caliber of medical personnel that we have here. They've really had a busy morning looking after everybody and ensuring player safety, which is always crucial.
Definite. Number 1, safety first. They're lucky as we look at the kick going back into the Kwacha's half.
Nice and deep. Very happy to have a look over the top there. Nobody home. Fortunately for Stellenberg, plenty of players able to get back behind the ball, and a great net gain there by Stellenberg.
Definitely, Aiden Miller has picked up his game, definitely. After the first 10 minutes, the kicks out of hand, not going out, but that was a really, really good leg foot kick there by the number 9.
He's really had a multitude of roles to play in this game so far. We've seen he's coming into that sweeper role there as well, that kick now that we've seen there, and not afraid to get stuck into contact as well.
Yeah, he's a real feisty one, Aiden Miller. One to look out for, definitely.
Another darting run there from Monument. Referee seems to be playing advantage there, a bit slow to get back onto their defensive line. It seems like Stellenberg prop forwards always happy to get involved in the hustle and the bustle of getting just over that advantage line.
Guacha's definitely using their strength, using the pod. 1 or 2 players over the ball, clean out, next pod.
Still playing advantage is the referee. Yeah, no advantage there. Halfback was just running behind the referee, so he's unable to give that advantage away there. So repeatedly Stellenberg offside, so I think the referee just wants to have a chat here and just remind them of their discipline, particularly in that last phase of the field.
Definitely, and I think it's another area for our man, number 9, Aiden Miller, to get his guys ready up on the 1, 2, and 3 channels, because that's where they're lacking at the moment. Monument seeing the spaces next to the ruck, attacking it, making sure that the numbers from the outside are sucked in. Penalty time due to offside, unfortunately for the boys there. They really need to watch those edges.
And this is where Stellenberg have got to be careful. They're doing awesome work up front, and they're getting the points on the board, but immediately allowing Monument then an opportunity to get right back onto the score sheet, as we see a very big loop switch going on there, still going on the player there, but he was tackled and brought to ground, and you see the end result there, penalty. Again, just a bit over eager to get involved, then get across the whitewash and reprieve for Stellenberg.
Definitely. Unfortunately, just not appreciating the laws. There's such a big man, not feeling the tackler on him, and he decides to get up and go for a second time.
Not okay. We'll go with that. Not feeling okay. Line out here, just outside the 22-meter here. Stellenberg still a lot to do for them to get out of their half. Again, they've opted for the short man. Line out rises nice and high. Does Boyson. It is stolen by Monument, however, and immediately they're right back onto the 5-meter line here. Remember, there has been a warning by the referee, so they need to be disciplined here, Stellenberg. Ball coming out there, nice interplay there, and a good tackle once again. The ball is loose and cleaned up by one of the Guacha men. Again, referee blowing his whistle there again for a penalty. Tap and go, and it does seem it is over the line, yes. Referee does agree, and very quickly back Monument onto the scoreboard there. Looked like a prop forward there is going to come up for that try. Right back into the mix again, Stellenberg.
Yeah, it looks like Dylan Du Plessis there with the try right next to the pole. And I'm loving this new tactic that the Guachas are implying. They are not waiting for the defense to get ready. They are tapping, they are going, using their forwards very wisely. I mean, the man slips through 3 or 4 tackles. No one can stop him. Try time right next to the pole.
It does seem to be the playbook of Monument. Route 1 is all they know and all they're keen to do, and it has been working for them. Just caught Laxi Daisy, Stellenberg, so they really do need to just sharpen that up there, making sure as soon as the referee blows that whistle, they're back on the 10-meter line, they're retreating, and they're ready to face their opposite numbers there, because that's where they've gotten away with murder, I think it's fair to say, in terms of Monument. But hey, if it works for you, keep going.
Definitely. I mean, we saw the warning from the referee, so you knew the try was coming. The boys just under pressure there, Stellenberg.
Very similar to the last kick. Not going the 10 meters required, but Monument this time much better in terms of collecting that ball. Short side, they go now. Lovely little fend off there over the halfway goes Monument. Ball out. Jeez, he's been busy the whole morning on behalf of Monument, hasn't he? Good continuation thus far for the Kwaggas.
Definitely, the Kwagga side not afraid to use their forwards, especially in the back line. All you can see when the ball goes wide, it hits the fly off, it hits the scrum off. Next thing, you've got a forward, making sure that they dominate and making sure that the next player is ready for the next phase. Unfortunately, there for them, holding on to the ball as the boys from Stellenberg steal this one.
We spoke about a little bit earlier, just before that try, about when they link in off those pods there to ensure that there's a support player, because you do become vulnerable to a possible steal if you don't have those support players right behind you, backing you, which is where we saw that steal happening here.
Definitely, I mean, it's an old rugby rule. The support player is always the most important one. Whether you break a line or whether you're in that ruck, it's important for you to get somebody over you, supporting you in the contact and also protecting the ball.
Skew on that one there, almost basically threw it to the other team, did the hooker there, Joanne Smith. Affords Monument an opportunity here, a scrum in their own half here. We're almost at half-time here. It's 12 points apiece so far during this encounter here. It really has been topsy-turvy on both these sides. DIVAN SENEKAL, the man to feed the scrum here on behalf of the Kwaggas. And DIVAN Wolfhard is the 8th man here that's got to ensure the security of that ball. Nice clean ball coming out here. Here come the centers now bustling through. Good work there by Messina to stop that ball. Advantage played by the referee here. Tap and go, like you said a little bit earlier, but Piwe, they're really eager to get themselves moving and to continue that momentum and go forward ball.
Definitely. Oh man, losing out once again. It's that support play that we were talking about. I think that last move, the ball ought to have gone wide. You saw the support players running past the ruck. Unfortunately, Monas not having enough players around the ball. Penalty given away.
Was a lovely steal there by Aiden Miller. He really has been busy so far this encounter. And if I'm not mistaken, but Piwe, looks like we're going to have a long-range effort here from Dwight PIETERSEN. Just before half-time, trying to give his team a 3-point lead here. That would take them up to 15 points to the 12 that of Monument.
It is an interesting call, Lucky. I don't think he's the actual kicker that kicked over for the first 2 tries. So interesting to see them employ this tactic, looking about 55 meters or so away from the poles.
Attempt here from PIETERSEN. It is climbing as we go along. And a wonderful 3-pointer there by Dwight PIETERSEN to add the 3 points. It was rising. And over she goes there for 3 points. That was a really lovely kick.
Definite warning sign for the Monas players. Don't give away penalties in front of your post, whether at 10 or 50 meters.
Knock on there by the try scorer, Lachance Nana. And we'll have what may well be the last play of the half. Scrum in favor of the men from Krugersdorp.
So the Kwaggas wing looking to go quickly, overruled by the forward saying, hey man, it's half time, calm down.
Jachib. That was a hooter that you've heard in the background there. So this will be certainly last bit of play keen to run the ball are the Monument team there. Unfortunately, that ball just not going their way there. That cut back proving a little bit too difficult, almost overran the ball, did that center there from Monument. It is a half-time here at our midday fixture. It's the second teams that are in action. It's Monument at 12 points to the 14 those of Stellenberg. The game has really been exciting. Players will have a bit of water. We'll go take a bit of a break, and we'll see you after.
Sometimes when I come home, I wonder what I would say to my younger self. Maybe I would say, ungenayonga yona kid inhle okanye ibhadlileyo. Ndakubona intwana ezimiseleyo. Kodwa qina, qhubeka ufunda, qhubeka udlala, qhubeka ukholelwa. Ngenye imini ukukhanya kuzokufumana.
Barloworld Toyota Menlyn nou groter en beter. Ons het geskuif, nou oorkant Menlyn Main Pretoria. Jou nommer 1 handelaar vir nuwe en gebruikte motors, dienste en parte. Skakel ons gerus by 012 995 1700.
Back joining us here at the Noordsite Rugby Festival in Pretoria, I beg your pardon, at Afrikaanse Seuns Hoërskool. It is Stellenberg, the men from Bellville, that are up by 2 points here. Going through those tries by Piwela Chance was the first one to start on the score sheet.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the body positions from that first maul weren't as great, but we saw Nana coming through, breaking away from his players, seeing them go to ground, and unfortunately for the Mona side, not able to hold him for that try there.
They've been very quick on the tap ball, have Monument throughout this game, throughout the first half so far, and full of running have been the men from Stellenberg. Like you said, two different kinds of rugby we've seen here.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen the Kwagga side preferring to go the quick taps, not waiting for the defense to get ready, catching Stellenberg unawares on many occasions, but unfortunately for them, 2 out of 4 times they don't have a support player, giving away unnecessary penalties, allowing the Stellenberg boys to get back into the game.
It really has been end-to-end stuff here. Physical at the best of times as well. I think fair to say that both these teams really up and raring to go for this one here. Remember, these visuals brought to you live courtesy of Super Sport Schools. Catch us channel 246 as well on the DSTV. We're here today, we're here tomorrow. Then we have a break on Thursday and again back on Friday and Saturday. Plenty of rugby to look forward to this week.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Huge shout out to all the sponsors. I mean, Barloworld, Menlyn making this all possible. Super Sport Schools, as we see the line out. First one of the second half.
Had a couple of good throws, did Smith. But unfortunately, balking this one here. Just a lack of communication between his partners. And as we become accustomed to, there's that tap and go referee playing the advantage there for not being 10. Good tackle there by the fly half. A try-saving tackle by the fly half there, Matthew Messina. They'll have to come back there. 5-meter scrum, Monument ball.
Definite try-saving tackle there by the little man. Again being caught unawares, not falling back 10, not looking up, looking at who's in front of you, being caught again. Now scrum on your own 5-meter line. Where to from here?
I'm sure Coach Lo Lombard from Stellenberg would have had a word or two about that. Just telling them to look heads up immediately as a referee's blowing that whistle there. I guess some players just gingerly getting into the second half. Early engaged there by Monument. And immediately the momentum swing again goes in favor of Stellenberg. An opportunity here for Stellenberg to clear their lines and restart their attack.
Yeah, I guess we can't really say that the boys have been laid off so much. You've just worked 80 meters to go and lose on the opposition 5-meter just because of an early engage. You'd think the boys should be settled by now. Unfortunately, now facing an attacking scrum on the 10-meter line out rather.
Full complement looks like here in terms of the line out. Referee just not happy with the spacing there. Throw here for Tristan de Cossa. Need to secure the ball now to Stellenberg. They do so with Aiden Muller at the base of that one there. You look to his fly half, Messina, who'll clear the lines.
Taken back.
Appreciation of the laws there, or lack thereof rather. That ball was taken back, like he correctly said. So they will come back into the 22, and again the pressure now switches back in favor of Monument.
Definitely. Let's see if the Kwaggas can pull this one through and not lose it.
Ball comes out very, very nicely there for Monument. Switching back with the fly half they are. Good little wrap around there from Ian Defoe. That ball is held up now, so easy work here to do, one would think, for Stellenberg. Just kill that ball off. But a good leg drive from Monument. Use it once, says the referee. Ball to Stellenberg.
Great work by number 12, Dwight Peterson, holding the ball up in the tackle there. Monument not having enough time. It's that support playing once again, not dominating the tackle. Held up. Maul was called. Because the ball is held up, ball goes to the opposition.
Good work by Stellenberg. Not out of the woods yet. They're still deep inside their 22 here, so they're not going to need a big scrum here and need to secure the ball. So hopefully we can see Messina or even Petersen. He's got a boot and a half on him. To clear the lines for Stellenberg.
I'd actually definitely like to see them throw the ball around. That looks like a big blind for me. They're lucky. Maybe using the 9-8 to come around winger right up from the Kwagga side there. I think they'd have a better chance. Let's see what they do.
I think first order of business is get that ball out the scrum. So both teams have been very nervy in terms of getting the ball out. There have been some really, really big shoves here. Let's see, Muller here gets that ball out. There's that man Petersen, a bit of a dink over the top. Gets only as far as halfway. Bit of a show and go from the fullback. Jeez, he's full of running. Is Deval. Here come the forwards now, equally matched by Stellenberg. Change of direction here. That ball gets left behind. Yes, play on, says the referee. Gap opens up here for Monument. Tackle this time for Monument. Ball is out there in a rush defense by the flanker there. Plenty of numbers if they can get rid of that ball there. And that ball is now intercepted. It's
Will
going
they
to
catch
be
him?
a foot chase here from the halfway. And it stopped being a foot chase as soon as he got to that ball there. Chad van Wyk looked like he was having a bit of a canter there. Intercepted that ball. They were trying to go over the top. There were plenty of numbers onto that left-hand side there. But Chad did very well to pick up his head. He saw that ball there and showed a good pair of heels.
And I was just about to implore the Monas side for the patience behind the ruck. Unfortunately, playing the ball in the tackle, 50-50 pass, going to ground. Chad van Wyk scooping it up, and they won't catch him. You know what they say, Lucky? You can't coach pace.
Really, really lovely try, and good to see him there. Good awareness also. He always looked over his shoulder to see if at any point he was in danger of being caught. But jeez, what a run from his own 22-meter line there, and a lovely pickup as well. I think it must be said there was a very low-hanging ball that he managed to catch there on an awkward bounce.
Yeah, definitely a superb try there. I think the defense pressure also forcing that pass, but great stuff to make it about 80 meters all the way from your own half into the opposition side, and being the first side to score in this half are definitely going to put the Stellenberg boys on the up.
Successfully adds the extra 2 point, does Matthew Messina, bringing the score now to 20 points against the 12 of Monument. I think it's fair to say Monument have played all of the rugby so far in the second half, but nothing as far as the scoreboard is concerned to show for it. Stellenberg taking full advantage of the half chances they've had so far in this second half. Opportunity for them to now rebuild, do Monument. Knock-on opportunity here. Double knock, so referee will come back here for a scrum.
Yeah,
in a very similar position to where they were a couple of minutes ago, actually.
Correct, and I mean all that resulting from a student coming to the exam hall without his pen. We're seeing the hands they're lacking from both sides. Unfortunate. Stellenberg knocking on first from the kickoff. No pressure on the player, giving away this scrum within the 22-meter line. It'll be interesting what the Squacha side does. They normally play with their forwards. Are they going to take it up with the 12, get the pods coming in? Let's have a look.
Certainly no one standing on this blind side here, so I think we should expect a loop there with those centers coming in. Been a recurring problem, these scrums here, but good patience shown by the referee. Certainly more patient than I would like to be there. That ball taken quickly there by Monument. It is knocked on once more there, but the players went 10 meters, so referee will go through that one again.
It doesn't look like they're 10 again, Lucky, but let's see what Monas can conjure up here on the 5-meter line.
No hands, says the referee. Here comes a big bustling run, almost in the line of the referee there. It lands to Monument once more. Ball comes to the left-hand side here. Another good stop there by Messina. Big tackle by the number 5 there. Damien Labaskachny, advantage being played. They need to be careful here, Stellenberg. It's a third time in a very short space of time that we've seen penalties going against them here.
Definitely unfortunate. DIVAN SENEKAL, the number 9 from the Kwaka side, wanting to play it quickly. Unfortunately, getting to the ruck, playing the piano. Your hands are on the ball. It means the ball is out.
Very quick have Monument been there. I don't know if you saw a couple of phases ago there, but Pierre, perhaps you can educate me a little bit better. On that scrum, that short hand, that free kick, SENEKAL had taken the kick, the tap almost at the feet of the referee. Is he allowed to take it there? Does he have to take it back to the last feet of that scrum?
I would definitely say he needs to go back. Last man in your scrum, in full view of the referee. Unfortunately, the referee letting the game play on. He can see that the boys want to play on, so he's not really putting his whistle to mouth there, allowing the boys to get the game flowing.
Or maybe Monument are just that quick that even the referee missed it, huh? Because they're playing quick ball here as we see the tap as play resumes here. There's that run again into the almost the referee. I mean, he's in bright orange. You can't miss him. Try time for Monument as I say that. And the quick tap and go seems to be working in favor of Monument here as we see another try coming their way here.
Great try there by DIVAN SENEKAL. He's really been prominent here in the second half. I'm a bit worried though about the body positioning that they're going into contact with. Not only is it not safe, I think you stand a higher chance of losing the ball, as we saw the phase before the try there.
Yeah, just something for the players there to work on. Don't miss a beat here, folks. Plenty of rugby still to go today. Some mouth-watering fixtures and clashes in this North-South Rugby Festival. Looking to add the extra 2 points here. Flags are up, does so successfully, brings them back within touching distance here. It's a 5-point game in it here. Stellenberg still in the lead by 22 points to 19 here. So all to play for. Starting to see a couple of bodies warming up here on the side of the park. I think in particular the forwards of Monument have really had a bruising game thus far. I'm sure some fresh legs would do them well. Full of running have Stellenberg been, especially in that back line there. So we should see a couple of players come on in a couple of minutes or so. Nice big hit there by that winger. Opens up however now for Monument, showing a clean pair of heels here, just darting his way here. Good tackle there by Dwight PIETERSEN. Stopped in his tracks just over halfway. Oh, and drop of the lipstick. Slight knock on there. Just took his eyes off the ball as he was looking for that runner there. How's this for a run?
Inside, outside. Unfortunately, Dwight PIETERSEN keeping his eyes on his man, checking the shoulder right on the ball area. And I mean, if there are players out there, if you look at the scrum halves that are playing here between this Mona side and the Stellenberg side, it's always very important for you to look at your options before you put your hands on the ball. It looks like the scrum halves are both getting caught with the ball because they then want to decide what to do.
Need to get a little bit of experience under the belt, which I'm sure will come, and courtesy of festivals such as these will do so. Another pre-engagement there, and they look like they will opt for the scrum.
I think it's a great call there from Aiden Miller from the Sekis. The Monas forwards have been running around. It's been quick taps. It's been up and down. They can see that they're tired. They can feel the intensity of the game going up. And unfortunately for them, losing the ball in vital position. Let's see what Aiden Miller decides to do here. 10 meters in their own half.
Remember, folks, you're able to get in touch with us on all sorts of social media platforms. SSS Rugby is where you can get in touch with us. And if you're in and around Pretoria at the Loftus Park, there's a big screen going on there where you're able to view these games. So although you're not allowed to be here physically into this stadium, at Loftus Park, big screens are up there and you are able to catch a glimpse of the rugby on Freedom Day. I'm sure, I can't smell it as yet, but I'm sure there are a couple of braais that are out there already in the afternoon, and cold beverages as we're come accustomed to on Freedom Day.
Yeah, definitely missing the crowd in stadium, but good for us. We've got Super Sport Schools, Barloworld, Menlyn bringing you the game live in your home. And like you mentioned, Loftus Park, they will be televised on the big screen there.
Line out here for Monument in a very promising position here. Lovely cut back there. Still going is the forward there. Nice, good run here. Is he going to place the ball? He leaves it just short for one of his teammates here. So far, so good from Stellenberg. They are meeting them there.
Not sure what the ref is calling there.
I think it's going to be a 5-meter scrum there.
Yeah, they
The
should
player
have
thought he was
exercised.
able to place the ball, but referee said it was a double movement, so they're going to come back there.
Definitely playing the ball on the ground.
Yeah. Scrum time here. Bit of a gamble in terms of scrums. We've seen short-arm penalties, long-arm penalties for both sides. One side dominating, one side not. Looked down from our side there. Referee not convinced, however. Try this time here. Second time round, that is much, much better. I think it's a fair question to ask. Where are the pillar defenders of Stellenberg? Every single time we've seen those sniping runs come through from Monument, those pillar defenders, because they run very close supporting lines there, do Monument, and they seem to just slice through like butter there.
Yeah, the Stellenberg side definitely not playing compact next to their rucks, looking up, looking at the 1 and 2 channel, and then defending from there. Really, really a problem for them, reminding us of the first 10 minutes of the first half. In fact, they're lucky.
La Chance Nana just unable to stop that ball from crossing the whitewash there, and really we've seen in the last 8 minutes or so a swing in the momentum as well as a scoreboard. Apart from Van Veek's intercept try there, we've hardly had a sniff of Stellenberg in the opposition 22, as we see another successful conversion there, now bringing the score to 26 points to 22 of Stellenberg. Still a bit of time here, about 13 or so minutes to go, so plenty of time to go still. I see a couple of changes have been brought on here. Ryan Kirkwood, I see, from Stellenberg. He's made his way onto the park. Let's see if he's able to make a bit of an impact here. Very deep, the restart, but very poor in terms of the chasing there. That ball was touched, so leaves everybody onside now. Kirkwood's first touch of the ball comes now for the flanker. 2-on-1 opportunity here, and just overstepped that mark there. The intent was good there to get the hands through the tackle and then the pass. Unfortunately, Tice just a bit quicker than one would have liked to imagine, and just overrunning that ball there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to see the ball go through the hands before the contact. Unfortunately, the ball not going to hand there.
Lovely steal there. Kirkwood again in the thick of things, in the action there takes play right up to the 22. Need to be careful for sealing that ball off players from Monument. Has a bit of a look here. I don't think he was expecting the ball, Philip Marais. Ball now with PIETERSEN. Has a look over the top into the 22 there. Line is going to win that battle there.
And that kick across the field is a pattern that we've seen in the rugby in the past year or two, where the fly-offs or the centres are not relying on just spreading the ball out wide, but using the foot. Unfortunately, it not working out there for the Stellenberg side, but they've got a line out now on the 5 meter. Let's see if they'll contest. Let's see.
He did really, really well, did Kobus Vester, to steal the first one there, and he's been the main jumper there for his side. We see that ball coming over the top there now. The fly-off is in possession of it. Bit of a scramble thus far, and it will result in a knock-on in favour of Monument. I would like to see Matthew Messina hang on to that ball rather there. I don't think he could believe his luck when he looked up, and here's his ball that was shot way over the 15 there.
Definitely would have held on to that ball. in that position. I mean, you are isolated, but you do have players coming in, coming to support you, not expecting the ball. You throw a loose pass and suddenly you've lost all that ball.
A little bit of excitement there. But first real visit we've seen in this half here for Stellenberg. They're deep inside that 22 there, looking to clear their lines. Will be Monument. A superb charge down there by Aiden Miller. That ball will go over that dead ball line and will come pretty much right back into the same position again for a scrum.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see the Stellenberg side playing away from the Monas forwards, spreading the ball a little out wide. You've got the pace outside, your Dasa, you've got Van Wyk outside, the boys with wheels. Unfortunately, just playing into the hands of the Squacha side and trying to wrestle the ball instead of giving it some air.
Look at Aiden Miller encouraging his players there, asking them to get stuck in here. It's a wonderful platform to attack from and a great opportunity for them to get right back onto the scoreboard here. There he has a sniping, darting run there and a great try scored by him. Great personal effort there.
Definite great try there by the number 9, having a full go at his players before the scrum there, enticing them, encouraging them to give him a good go, and he takes the responsibility by himself, takes the ball up. Great try, Aiden Miller.
Certainly a candidate for the wintergreen man of the match here. He's been busy, he's been all over the place, and geez, he's full of fire, isn't he?
Definitely, and as we see him come around there, he had nothing but the white line in his sights. Little bit of a high tackle there, but it doesn't matter. 5 points on the board.
5 points indeed, the result there. And Dwight Peterson, from much closer than his penalty in the first half, will look to add just the extra 2 points here. That was great pressure there by the Monument guys. Just taking a bit of too much time there, did Dwight Peterson. I thought he was back on the 60-meter line there. So good pressure there from them. So instead of leading by 3, they just lead by 1 now, 26-27. 8 minutes to go. Definitely is game on here.
And as we see the ball into the 22, out of hand. The ball not going too far there from Dwight Peterson. Monas again on the attack. Tackle is made on the 22. His numbers out wide.
Giving it nice width so far. And an awesome steal there by Stellenberg. They've got plenty of numbers this side here if they can get that ball out. Chooses to go onto the outside here. Cuts back on the inside. Mikhail Tace has been really busy. He's a small man, but geez, he's got a lot of grit. As we see Miller there onto the ball for his fly half, Messina. Reprieve for Stellenberg. The high tackle, I think they're coming back for that one on Mikhail.
He definitely is a small player, Mikhail. Small player, dynamic, lots of pace, unable to tackle him the right way, and they grab him around the neck.
Dwight happy just to dab that ball out. I mean, you could have probably thrown the ball a bit further than that rather than kick it. So literally a couple of meters just in front of them. They'll have a line out here. I'm sure they'll be looking for that target man, Kobus Vester, once more. Yeah, he really has been good in terms of his line-out jumping.
Surprising from Petersen there. But maybe there's a plan in mind. Looks like they're planning to maul.
That maul is nice and well set. They choose to break away from that one there. And well stolen there. I would have liked to see Stellenberg just stay in that maul a bit longer. They're a bit far away in terms of the team's opposition half. stay in there. He decided to detach and again didn't go there with support, and Monument were there in the numbers to steal that ball there.
I think two passages of bad play there. One, PIETERSEN kicking the ball not so far out. Second one, choosing to maul against a side that's been pretty physical and pretty dominant in the first 50 minutes of the game. Again playing into their strength and losing the ball.
Throw here for Monument, just on the 22-meter line. Lovely steal there. Good a wrap around here. Dab over to the top there. Work to do for Kirkwood, and he does so. It'll be a 22-meter dropout here. Can't really afford any errors at this stage.
I'd definitely be scratching my head if I was Ron Lindecker right now. Great line out, back of the line out on the 15-meter area, and then just sort of grubbering the ball to the opposition after all your hard work.
They're going to be sure of their tackles now, Stellenberg. Can't afford for a player to be darting out here. Straight over the top, says their referee. And referee not happy with the back chat. So now 4 minutes to go. Is Dwight PIETERSEN going to have a go from the halfway here? He does seem to be walking towards that ball there.
And as we see the referee organizing some detention work there for the Kwagga's boys. Detention was much longer back in the day. Now it's just 10 meters. I would have loved that.
Dwight PIETERSEN just looking to add 3 points here that'll extend their lead. And there's that man, the first try scorer of this game. Jeez, he's been busy and has duly been awarded the Wintergreen Man of the Match. That is a stunning kick there. Unfortunately, just going towards the left-hand side there. But La Chance Takonge Nana, Man of the Match, the Wintergreen Man of the Match. He really has had a valiant effort in today's game. Been really, really busy. And there he is in the thick of things again there. Here's now Kirkwood. Again, penalty going in favor of Stellenberg there, just holding on to the ball, says the referee.
Yeah, the boys from the Kwagga's there coming in way too late. Ruck had already been formed. Players were in. You're not the first player on the ball. You need to let go of the ball.
Line out to the option here. Smith onto the ball here. Maul here. Let's see if they're able to K themselves over the line. Bodies everywhere. Where is the ball? Held up, says the referee. Come back, 5-meter scrum.
It'll be interesting to see where they go from here as we look at the Wintergreen Man of the Match. Mr. Tokonte Nana, a great game this afternoon. A minute left on the board. Kwagga's have been definitely dominant in the scrum. Attacking one, Aiden Miller there again. Can he do it again for a second time?
I think you'll fancy his chances there. I mean, that short side is rather small, but it'll be lovely to see them involved there. Their backline here has really, really been good. That scrum comes down, ball comes out. There's Miller there. Just needs to be careful not to take too long onto that ball there. Kirkwood now onto the ball. There goes the hooter. That ball is now stolen. Does really well not to be in the dead ball line there. They're going to have to run this ball for 80 meters, Monument.
Again, trusting their pods to do the work.
Penalty blows the referee in favor of Monument. Now, for those of you that haven't watched a bit of rugby in quite a long time, about 2 years or so, even though the hooter's up, they are able to play that line out. It was their penalty, so Monument here with an opportunity just to get it a little bit closer to the opposition line here.
It'll be really interesting to see, Lucky. Their backlines haven't really had a go in this game, and they're really needing them now in these dying seconds.
Right, first things first, they need to find their jumper, do Monument. They do so successfully. Here come the backline now. Let's see what they're able to conjure up here. Chicken wing employed there. Now numbers a little bit to the left. Got to get rid of that ball. And it's that man, Chad van Wyk, stealing the ball illegally so, however. They're just ever itching, ever closer, aren't they? Tap and go employed here by Monument.
Numbers
here they
out
come
wide.
now. If you had just looked onto his right-hand side, there were numbers available to him. Discipline will be key here. Good combined tackle by Chaser amongst others. Here's a gap. Here's a big hole opening up here. Can he get that ball out there? Needs to be careful not to be isolated. They've really done well to make their way 80 meters here. And there's a massive overlap on to the outside. Cut back the player. Good tackle there by Messina. They need a pill on that blind side there. Hopefully someone's having a look. There's that shuffle now that comes across there. Play on, says the referee. It's looking really, really messy here. Defensive stuff. So far, so good for Stellenberg. They come onto the short side again. Bit of a show and go. Does enough, does Messina. Advantage for the high tackle. Counter ruck, but referee was playing advantage there. High tackle. I think the guilty party was Messina there. A quick tap and go there for the ball.
DIVAN SENEKAL going up straight. Body position's worrisome for me.
Here comes that ball now. Got to roll away that player there. Good efforts there by him. Referee onto the mark there. Held up, says the referee. He had to, it took quite a while to have a look there, did the referee. And happy to call that one. By just 1 point over the line, basically. Monument were there. But referee just having a big look there and adjudicating that that ball was indeed held up. But Piwe, final thoughts, please. It really has been end-to-end here.
It really has been lucky. We saw the first 10 minutes of this game going away to the Kwaka side, dominating physically in the scrums, in the line-out. But the boys all the way from Bellville, the Stellenberg side, showing a lot of heart, coming back into this game, long-distance tries, making sure that the defense was good there for that last minute and pipping them just by a point.
Just by a point, indeed, here. It does end with the victors, the men from Bellville, by 27 points to the 26, those of a Monument. Don't go anywhere, folks. So plenty of rugby still to go. It's Afizi Witbilla, their second team, and they're up against Oakdale.